Welcome back. My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law, Windshield Time. Today, I'm reshooting this because I got a phone call in the middle of the last one. One of the drawbacks of Windshield Time. But today we're going to talk about a couple of things. First, I want to address the time that we were offline. It was a little over a week. I had very seriously considered putting my name in the hat for a judgeship position that's opening up here in Missouri. I have subsequently decided not to. We talked about it with my family and decided that we didn't want to move. So we're not going to do that. Now, the second thing we want to talk about today is patient using caregivers. We have been seeing a lot on Reddit. The Missouri Medical subreddit is excellent, but there are a lot of people that are talking about what they're going to charge as caregivers. That they're charging, $100 an ounce, $200 an ounce, $400 an ounce for the medical marijuana they're providing to the patients. That is a flaw. You cannot provide medical marijuana to the patient. A caregiver is assisting the patient in managing their own medical marijuana. Any medical marijuana in your possession as a caregiver has to be labeled for the patient. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a caregiver, thinking about being a caregiver, go to the DHS website, click on rules, then select the current rules, open it up, take a look at it. Turn to page 12 because that's where the relevant section is going to be. And on page 12, it should be around the middle of the middle column. Okay? Understand, you have to label the medical marijuana that you are holding for a patient. Okay? The qualified amounts are 4 ounces per month, 60-day supply unless they're cultivating. So up to 8 ounces of medical marijuana for the patient that you can hold on to for them. If they're cultivating, it's a 90-day supply, 12 ounces. If they have a second doctor's opinion that they need more than the 4 ounces, they're entitled to double the amount. So it would be 8, 16, and 24. If they all have cultivation cards and you are cultivating, you can cultivate the plants for the patient. Now, here's why, and I'm going to tell you a story briefly. I got a call yesterday from a prosecutor. They know that I'm up on this area of law. They called and they wanted to ask a question to make sure they're doing it right. I love that. Okay? The officer had called the prosecutor. The prosecutor said, give them back their weed, turn them loose. And the officer's like, I've never given weed back to somebody. Be that as it may. That person was in possession of a caregiver ID. They said they were a caregiver. And that's fine. However, the marijuana that was in their possession was not labeled with the name of the patient. The prosecutor's asking me about this. I'm like, well, it's right here in the reg. Let me show you. This is the rule. The rule says it has to be labeled with the name of the patient. So, next time that comes up, that prosecutor is going to know that that's got to be labeled with the name of the patient. As a caregiver, you need to be aware of what the rules are and follow them. If you're not following the rules, you're exposing yourself to prosecution and prison. Where this is a huge problem is in charging. When you're charging the patients, I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, groups that I'm a member of, in Reddit, and in other organizational mailings that I'm a part of, where caregivers are attempting to charge the patient per ounce. If you are a caregiver and you are charging the patient per ounce, you are going to go to prison at some point if you are charged. Okay? You are distributing marijuana illegally. The medical marijuana a patient has is the patient's medical marijuana, even if you as a caregiver are possessing it, even if you as a caregiver are cultivating their plants. By the way, each one of their plants has to be labeled with the patient's name. Okay? You cannot group the medical marijuana that you have in your possession as a caregiver for 3 patients and say, well, I have 20 ounces, so we're all good, because we're cultivating for 3 people. It doesn't work like that. There might be 4 ounces for Bob, there might be 8 ounces for Joe, and 8 ounces for Tom. And you got to have them labeled, because Bob cannot receive any of Tom's marijuana. That's not legal. And you as a caregiver will be held responsible for that. And as a caregiver, you're going to have all of your records in order when, not if, when DHSS comes to take a look. Okay? Do not set yourself up for a fall. So if you are selling marijuana to the patients by the ounce, you are in violation of the law. That is their marijuana. You can't sell it to them. You can't sell it at all. You can, however, charge a fee for your services as a caregiver, and you should. It's going to be a time-consuming process. It's a process that is fraught with peril for you, and you should be compensated for that. However, that compensation, if you're smart, and if you listen to the attorney who's been, studying and talking about this for a year and a half on YouTube, if you're gonna pay attention to that, charge a flat monthly rate. You can charge an hourly rate, that's fine, or charge a flat monthly rate. I'm gonna charge each patient $500 a month. I'm gonna charge each patient $1,000 a month. I don't care what you charge them. That's up to you. But you should charge a flat monthly rate. And the reason you do that is because when DHSS takes a look at your books, takes a look at your finances, and sees your contract and says, okay, you're good, you're not selling the marijuana. Or when the patient gets pissed off at you, and let's be honest, this will happen at some point. There's going to be some patient is going to get ticked off with their provider. They're going to say, dude, you shorted me on my weed. Or this isn't the quality that I had expected or agreed to. And they're going to call and complain. And you're going to say, no, everybody in this is an upstanding, standout guy, and nobody is ever going to make a false complaint about you. And you know what? I'm an attorney. People make false complaints all the time. People also make valid complaints all the time. Okay? If there's anything that you can set your watch to, there's going to be at least one whiny little bitch in the mix. Okay? That's going to happen. So, take that into account and plan for it. Write a contract, have a contract, see an attorney. Hell, we're putting together contracts for caregivers. Call my office, we'll sell you a blank contract. Just a form, you fill it out yourself. But do a contract that has a flat rate for your services as a caregiver. Why? Because you're not selling marijuana. You're providing a service. You are helping that patient manage their medicine. You are helping that patient keep track of it, control it. You're helping them grow it if they need to grow their own and cultivate. And let's face it, if you're not cultivating right now, you're not getting medical marijuana, really. So cultivate and account for excess and dispose of excess, and keep yourself and them straight with the state. You should be compensated for that. You'll set your own rates, I don't care. But if you are charging per ounce, you're in trouble. It's going to happen. So this prosecutor called me and said, hey, this is a situation. We walked through it. I showed the reg and we talked through what those issues are and the gray areas in the law. Look, we don't know how a court's going to rule on this yet. Okay? And I can tell you, I've had calls from other prosecutors in various parts of the state. One of the things they're asking about is marijuana and firearms. These things are going to come down. Don't get yourself caught short. If you are going to be transporting any marijuana that belongs to your patients that you are a caregiver for, you make damn sure it's got their name on it. If you have marijuana in a safe in your office, residence, wherever you're maintaining their marijuana, if you have their marijuana in a safe, make sure it's labeled with their name on it. Put their name on a piece of paper and put it in a plastic baggie with the weed. Or put the plastic bag with the weed in a plastic baggie with their name on it. But make sure the name is there. Hell, you use a sticker. Avery's got them at Walmart. Little Avery stickers. They're cheap. But get their name on it. If their name is on it, you're protecting yourself. If you're a caregiver and you're carrying marijuana for 3 patients and you've got 12 ounces of marijuana in your car, if it's properly labeled, you're good. If it's not, dude, you're going to jail. So, and then you're going to have to deal with the fallout of losing your patient's marijuana. You want to get somebody pissed off at you, you lose 4 ounces of weed. So that's that. Okay, please, if you are a caregiver, you're thinking about being a caregiver, and you want to provide caregiver services, you absolutely must make sure that you keep proper logs, keep proper accountability, that you log every time you give some of your patients marijuana to them. You log when you gave it to them, how much you gave to them. Okay? When you harvest from your patient's plants, record your harvest date, amounts. Even if it doesn't protect you with the state because they don't check on it, it's going to make you a better marijuana, was it farmer? Would that be a farmer? Cultivator? It's going to make you a better marijuana cultivator if you're tracking what works and what doesn't. So keep a log, keep control, track it, keep the marijuana protected and safe and labeled with the patient's name. If you're going to charge for your services, do a flat rate, do an hourly rate, doesn't matter. Absolutely do not charge per ounce. Absolutely do not. Charging per ounce is hanging a big flashing neon sign, Vegas style, that says, I want to go to prison. Well, some of you aren't going to like what I had to say. I'm sorry. I still hope that you'll like and subscribe this video. Well, like this video, smash it. It's right there at the bottom, thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the subscribe. We're going to have more videos. We are probably going to do some kind of longer call-in. Man, I'll walk you guys through how to do a contract for caregivers at some point. But that is one of the things that you absolutely have to look at and be aware of. It's one of the areas where they're going to start shutting down medical marijuana in the future. And it's not that they're going to shut medical marijuana down, but you've got a lot of people that spent millions and millions of dollars to get cultivation licenses and to get into business. Now we've got, tens of thousands of people out there cultivating on their own right now. They got to shut down that home cultivation if all those business owners are going to make money. So be ready for that. Anyway, smash the alert bell. Thank you, and I will be talking to you again soon.